Welcome back. So now let us look at a few things that you can do with Moodle. So let me get back to my interface again, and this is again my home in Moodle, where it is showing me the courses that I am an instructor on to. It shows it here too as well as here, and if I click on any course here, you will see that now in this course especially there was no activity because I did not use this interface, but what you can do is actually have a look at the participants. Okay, this is available to the instructor, and the instructor can actually check all the participants when they last logged in, and he can have an access to some of the logs that the students do. Similarly, I can always go back and to my home site here. So if I click here again, you will notice that the central section is what has been broken up into a set of different sections, and these sections actually have weeks written on them. Now this is not the only format that is available, and in fact you will realize that if I scroll down, the current week is highlighted. Our present semester is actually over, but this course was made to have weeks all the way up to 3rd July, that is nearly half the year. And now what I can do, or if an instructor wants to do anything with the whole site, the most important button in the administration section, which is this editing option. So once I turn this editing option on, you will realize that each of these sections now looks slightly bigger, and there is here now a button which is available to add information to this section. Similarly, there is a button here which is available to add some activity or resource, and there is a button here which allows you to hide that. Similarly, I can edit this whole section name. I need not have it as 4 January to 10 January. I can call it week 1, week 2, week 3 and so on, or some other name. In fact, if we go down now, because editing is on, we can edit the settings here, and you will realize that I can change many things. For example, I can change the course name itself. Right now it is proper, there is a name, a short name which has been given, a category has been given. This normally the administrator does. So the category for this course is Spring 2016, and all courses which run during this semester have been given this category. Now it has a particular ID number, there is a summary. Right now the summary is very short, but I can always add to it, and then I can add files here regarding the summary. I can actually drag and drop it from, let us say, your desktop or some other directory which you have opened. Now if I click here, some of the other options open up. For example, here now you see that we would have an option either to go in weekly format, which is what is right now, or we could have had an option to go in topics. So if a course has 3 or 4 main topics, then rather than weeks we would say we will cover only these 4 topics, and we are right now in topic 1, topic 2 and so on. In the other formats, normally there is just one page and you just need to go on filling up that page. So these two are the more important formats, the topic format and the weekly format, and we will stick with the weekly format right now. And you will see that half the year has been set up. There are 26 of these weeks that have been added. So we could have added maybe only 15 weeks, or if you had only 4 topics you could have added 4 here. So you could have added the number of sections. You can always keep adding them, of course. Then there are some other options available. These we will talk about later, but especially you can allow file uploads on the size, and you can set an upload limit. There is something about guest access, which normally it is advisable not to allow guest access, it is a restricted community, and you can also rename roles. For example, we can call the teacher by some other name, or the non-editing teacher by some other name. It depends on what kind of course you are running, and you would like to call a certain kind of person a certain kind of name depending on what kind of abilities that you have given them. So, right now I will not change anything, it just to tell you what is going on. So, this is regarding what you can do with the course settings itself, and rather than saving anything I will just cancel it. Now, if I enter these sections, you will realize that I can now click here and immediately I can change the section name. I can unclick this and add a section name here. I am not going to do that right now. Normally what happens is you write a summary of what has happened in that week, and if we have 2 or 3 lectures I would normally go by the dates. For example, I would say that on 17th May 2016. Now, of course, this week is all wrong here, but please do not bother about it. I will say I taught the following in class, and I can list out what I had taught. And if you want to make certain things bold, well, you have the option here. You can take this part up, make it bold, you can italicize it, or you can have further options, make the size different, or you could underline something, strike through something, make it a subscript or a superscript. In general, you have many options. Similarly, if you want to add equations, well, there is a lot of option here. You can add equations using an equation editor, and you can also add in special symbols here. For example, I can use this, I can add all these symbols if I really needed to add them, and you will notice that I have used them when I am setting up assignments, especially in my numerical methods course. I will go there when I am talking about assignments. Or we can add tables to this whole thing. If I really wanted to set up a table for something in this week, I can create a table. So, there are many things that I can do, and normally I would just go ahead and add what I have done in that particular week. So, I will take you to a particular course where I have actually done this. Let me go up to my dashboard here, and you will see that I have my courses spring, and this is the course that I was looking at. But let me go back to my courses, and I will see all of my courses here, and let me take you to my computational methods course, where I have filled in what I did in each week. So, for example, in this week from 27th July to 2nd August, there were 2 lectures, and this is what I covered as initial part of what was going on. Similarly, you will realize that I have uploaded an assignment here, and this is what has come here, and I have uploaded an assignment for each of the weeks that follow. I have in between mentioned when the exam takes place, where the seating arrangement is to be obtained. Similarly, if there was a holiday on a particular lecture day, I have mentioned it, and so on. And finally, when I am going to show the end semester exam books. So, these are various things that I have added. If I turn the editing on, then you will notice that I can actually change now. Now, you will see that this button has appeared here, and I can actually change what is the content of this summary here. Let me cancel this now, and similarly, if I go down here, you will realize that I can change the name of this assignment, or I can change even the language in this assignment. Right now, I have written this in a crude fashion. I will show you another place where I have actually used an equation editor, and because this assignment is already over, it already tells me how many students were there in the class and how many of them have submitted. Now, what I did was I did offline grading, that means I printed whatever they submitted, I printed offline and took a viva. Sometimes the grading can be done online itself, and then all of them would have been shown as graded here. It showed what the due date here was. So, these are some of the things that I can do here on this site. Similarly, let me go to another site here, where in this drawing course you will notice that for each of the lectures already right in the beginning all the lecture slides were put up. So, especially if there are a lot of slides or a lot of handouts, you would normally put all of them here, and then whenever there is an assignment, for example in the drawing course there were various sheets, these sheets were uploaded by using, again you go turn the editing option on, and then you can actually add an activity or resource and add a file here if you want here. So, this is, if I choose the file here, then you can actually go say add, and then it will ask you where to add it from. I will need to name the file, I will need to give a description, and then I will need to select from where the file is. Normally I create a PDF file and just upload it on this section here. So, I can put an assignment here, I can put the course notes here, I can put the course slides here, and then I can write a summary for this week. These are various things that can be done using this site for these various sections. Similarly, as I told you already, we can already rename the sections and decide on the number of sections that we have. So, this is what you can do with the central part of Moodle, and this is a reasonably good way of telling the students what happened in the week and the kind of assignments that they are supposed to do, and if there were any lecture notes etc., that they can sit down and look during their off time in their hostel rooms. They can actually log on to this site and have a look at those course notes. Thank you.